I've already said before, we did a Smoke Radio election debate last night where these candidates were also present at. Let's hear what they had to say.
What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour?
This is Smoke Radio's election debate. Next up, we hear from the Marylebone candidates.
Because, like, for example, I have a beard, so when I walk past, the smoke kind of stays inside my facial hair, which is annoying.
Something that I would like to propose is like a competition for architecture students where they could propose a proposal when the best proposal with the best smoking area would win, really.
Okay, so Saspil, what do you have to say?
They've already looked into that actually, and they have told that the APE students are going to be the ones designing it.
So what do you think about the bringing forward of 9 AM lectures, and how would this affect your students if you were to be elected?
I think that would be detrimental to our education.
I just heard of it today, and 2 students came up to me. They were told that I was running for VP, and they were like, they're postgraduate students, and they said to me, I just heard that it's 9 AM. However, commuting to uni early in the morning, it's really hard for me as a postgraduate student.
Whatever I do, I would like to accomplish what the majority of the students really want.
I'm in the middle of July with the drop top down in the park when the summer is.
Okay, so that was what our candidates had to say. We'll start at this end with Shahaman, and if you could just introduce yourself, and you have 45 seconds to talk about your manifesto.
Hi, my name is Shaman Ahmed. I'd like to apologise for my voice. I've lost it. My policies are as follows. I aim to introduce a communications app for sports and societies so that we can raise awareness for the events that are going on. A potential refurbishment of the Marylebone prayer room. To implement a year abroad preparation program for students who travel between their second and final year. Also to enable more rights and freedoms for societies. For example, SU allocated rooms. And to improve student engagement and networking opportunities. I'm sorry about the voice again, it's just gone. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is Fatima, could you just introduce yourself, and you have 45 minutes to talk about your policy?
Yes, I'm Fatima. Yes, I'm Fatima. I study architecture at the campus, the Marylebone campus. So my main policies are I want to make event running and planning made easier for the for students overall. I want more interfaith and cultural celebration in the across campuses, build on course-based societies, and tackle hidden course costs for both courses.
Okay, you do have more time if you'd like to take it. Okay, and we'll move on to Saspil. Could you introduce yourself, and you have 45 seconds to talk about your policy.
Hi, I'm Saspil. I'm studying business management with marketing. I've got a lot on my policy, so I'm just going to minimise it. I am going to refurbish the prayer room. I am going to try and change the catering service in Marylebone. Also, I'm trying to make every place in the university accessible to students, especially P3, which is being used for external use only. Feedback from teachers needs to be better. And a student union shop. I also want to get your printing credits cheaper. And vote for Salsa.
Okay, you do have more time if you want to use it.
That's fine.
Okay, so we'll start with a question to Shaman. You want to get an app. How would this app be different from just going onto the website on their phone?
Because it makes it much easier. Instead of using your internet, you can just use an app, and it makes it easier to book events as well, to actually book your attendance. It makes raising awareness much easier as well. Societies don't have to put posters up everywhere. They can actually reduce the amount of posters they use and just use the app instead. The majority of us all have smartphones. If you don't have a smartphone, you know someone who does. So I think it's a practical solution. Sorry. I think nowadays we have to get used to technology, and we have to use the technology that we have. And I think using smartphones and using the app is a fantastic solution to enable...
How do you see students using the app? What information will they be looking for as they go onto it?
Okay, so basically there will be a list of sports and societies, and it will be similar to a league table, except there won't be any points, obviously. And you can favourite whichever society you want, and you will receive push notifications maybe a week or a month in advance of an event. And whenever there is a new event, you will receive an update for it. and then you can click on the event to basically show that you are going to attend that event.
Okay, I'll open this up to the other candidates. What do you think about this idea of having an app, Fatima?
Well, I think it is a great idea, but like, where do you think the budgeting for it will come from?
Well, my policies are quite straightforward, and it's not going to cost much money, in my opinion. Apps don't take a large portion of money to create, so I think it will be very cost effective.
Sasbil?
From what Shahman said yesterday, he said he already spoke to someone that
Yeah,
would
I have
do.
2 companies that are ready to make the app. Yep, that's true.
If I do get elected, I'll take it on board, and I will get him to work with me. However,
Thanks for the offer.
I think it's a great idea because sports and society, even though sports and society is a small portion of the university, there's such a big, they're very popular. So I do think that taking sports and societies in consideration.
If you were to be elected and you did make the app, what would it feature? What would be the main purpose of it?
Well, I wouldn't just
There's
put...
more to the students' union than the sports.
And societies.
And sports, and there is more
there
than
will
the
be
sports and societies.
updates to when events are coming. There will be updates on, I think sports have a website called Bucks that puts all the dates and all the fixtures of everyone's games and where they are in the league. So having that there, just instead of going to the Bucks website, you'll have it just specifically for Westminster instead of searching up Westminster and whatever team you need to get.
Okay, we will move to a next question for Fatima. Why do you think that nurturing diversity is one of the most important issues on Marylebone campus, and how will this benefit the student experience of your students?
Well, I think at the moment, we have a campus with students from over 150 countries, and I feel like nurturing diversity will encourage more student interaction, and I feel like that is something that needs to be done more.
Is it something that you think hasn't been done enough so far?
Yes, I don't think it has been done as
How
much as
particularly would you make sure that diversity is nurtured?
Diversity is nurtured, but I think that we could have a weekly specified for catered for certain cultural societies where they could invite students from all campuses to get to know them, their culture, and attend their
culture
events.
fest.
Okay, we'll open this up.
Sorry.
Shaman, what do you say?
I said you could have a culture fest. SSA Region LTS had that this year and last year.
Was it successful?
The first one was yes.
So it's something worth bringing to
Definitely, we definitely have the space.
We were considering, as SSA Marylebone, we were going to do one involving the teachers as well, before SSA Regents won theirs.
So you think that it is important to get lecturers involved with student events?
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Would they turn up?
Yeah, they would. I've spoken to teachers, actually. People that work in the WBS registry and the ABE registry have approached me on multiple occasions asking, can we come as well? I was like, yeah, you're going to bring in your own dress, and it's going to be like a packed environment where we was going to use P3 also. But, teachers will turn up. They're definitely on it.
Fatima, this is an important part on your manifesto. How would you see staff showing up to these events as well? Or is it particularly for students?
I think, we have a diverse range of staff as well. I think it would be nice to have the staff involved as well.
Okay, has anyone on the floor got a question for the candidates? Yes, could you just wait for the microphone and introduce yourself as well?
Hi, I'm Yazi. I'm a spokesperson for the LGBTI Society. I'd just like to ask a question for Fatima. You just mentioned there about how you like to nurture diversity, and then I'd just like to bring to your attention the anti-gay speaker, which is coming on Thursday. How is that nurturing diversity? Because even though this is not a religious debate, this is a diversity with regard to sexuality. How is that nurturing the LGBTI society?
I will just add, these candidates aren't elected, so their influence wouldn't have been made yet, but I will take the
then I could say, how would you prevent something like this happening in the future if it was to happen again?
I would like to make sure that all student voices are heard in all aspects, and hopefully, make sure that no one feels, unsafe or uncomfortable at campus.
So let's open up this question to the other candidates.
What has happened recently is not really in the hands of the VP or the sabbatical officers. It does, however, I'm sure I've seen the article that was written by Eve. It's an interesting article, but would that only be one incident? You're basing it on one incident. However, from what I know, he's banned from the university already. So...
Okay, so you can.
I spoke to Eve earlier on today, and I told her the previous, and there are Muslim views about homophobia and all that, but I'm sure the sheikh that is coming on Thursday is not coming for a specific speech about anti-gay people. Do you know what I mean? He's not directly coming into. I know it's for you because your LGBT pride is happening the day after. Yeah, I know. I understand that because you said he's coming the day after, or the day before your Pride event. That wasn't done purposely, if you know what I mean. So it's just.
I think we need to move this question over to Sharman. Would you like to come back on?
Sure. Sorry. I think at university we're here to be challenged. We're here to hear. We're here to kind of open our minds and listen to different points of view, and sometimes they are controversial. I think we could use this as maybe under freedom of speech. We could, but the thing is, obviously you don't look happy about that. Fair enough. But the thing is, I think the thing is, I could say the same thing about Charlie Hebdo. I could. I could say it's freedom of speech. Maybe it's not. I could. But the thing is, there's a double standard in our society. No, it doesn't matter. There's a double standard in our society. It's okay to insult.
We've got some questions.
I'm not here to offend you. I'm just saying there's a double standard in our society, and that exists.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, so we are going to move on the question. We are here to speak about the UWSU elections. Okay, so let's take a question from the floor up here. If you could introduce yourself.
My name is Kurosh. I'm studying business with Chinese. I would like to ask a candidate, since I read the three candidate manifestos, and they mainly focus on students from UK. I would like to ask you, what about the international students? We have a big proportion of the students from abroad, and I don't feel they really participate in any event in any society, or if they take a part in society, there is not enough. There is not enough room for the students. And how would you encourage and motivate the students abroad, international students, to come and feel as a home here?
Okay, so would you encourage more students, international students, to get involved and feel more a part of the university?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. I think perhaps if we had a course rep for international students, and then we could create maybe networking opportunities as well, and events for international students.
Can I just pick you up on the point, networking events? What does this mean?
It
comes up in a lot of manifestos.
Well, there's a broad range that I have in mind anyway. There's some that are to do with socials, and others are to do with actual businesses, inviting alumni and also business companies to come in, which the university already does this, but I don't feel there's enough coverage and enough awareness being done about it. There's certain events that have happened and students don't know about them. I think there needs to be an increase in awareness about these types of events.
Okay, let's take this over to Sasbil. How would you?
From what I know, when international students come, you have like a social event in the beginning of the year. You also have the International Student House around the corner. There are events taking place for international students, within the international students and with us, but you can't really, it's there and it's put forward to you. We can't force every international student to go to an event that they don't want to. It's there and you see it, and it's up to you whether you want to go or not.
So you think...
But I will encourage it, but I will...
If you'd like to just come back, we'll just wait for the microphone, please. Just a short statement, please.
Yeah, sure. It's just about forcing the students, about encouraging the students, and you have to obviously provide the rooms because they're not really familiar with the culture of the UK. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Okay, we're not going to force or whatever, but you, as an international student, you have the like in the beginning of the year, you're being told all this stuff. If you're not convinced from the first meeting, like, I don't understand what you want us to do. Maybe you can come to us in the office. Maybe you can come to us in the office and tell us what you expect from us, and maybe we can meet your needs from what you.
So it's for you. It's more about the international students reaching out to you rather than you reaching out to them. So maybe we'll take this question over to Fatima. How would you sort of encourage more international students to be a part of the university?
Like I mentioned previously, like if we have something, as you said, a cultural fest at Marylebone campus, and have the involvement of all cultures, I feel like that would give them more of a sense of involvement.
Okay, so more events together. We will start to close up with these candidates. If we could start down here, if you could only choose one of your manifesto points and carry out that one policy in full, which one would it be, and could you explain why? What's the most important thing?
I think enabling more rights and freedom for societies. I think room booking is a massive issue. If I was in charge, I'd try to lobby for SU allocated rooms, so that room booking is more efficient. I'd also kind of dissolve the actual structure of room booking. I think there are too many departments involved, so it takes too long to book a room. So if it was me, I'd just basically have one department, and that would basically be the sports and society department, and anyone else who is above them, I would basically place them in a supervisory role. And so that would be probably the most important for me.
Okay, Fatima, if you would just like to summarise your most important points of your manifesto.
I think, well, the most important point would be the celebration of diversity and cultures, because we're a university with people from over 150 countries, and the more we have these kind of events, the more everyone will be involved.
Okay, and Sasabil?
They're all valuable. One of the main ones would be P3. You pay £9,000 or £3,000, whatever one you're on, and you're not even getting access to every room in the university. Like, you got more of a priority to all the external students that are using Abika P3 or any other room that is not being accessible to students. Like, on Freshers Week, you have Freshers Fair upstairs, fans, student ambassadors. You've got such a packed podium, and you're bringing in new students. But 2 years ago, it was in P3. It was wide and...
Your main point, getting P3 to be available for students. Okay, has anyone... sorry? Another main point? No, just the one. Okay, can we have questions from the floor? Has anyone got a question, for the candidates?
Yeah, me again. I would just like to address the previous concern about this speaker. I would like to address interfaith as a whole. Do any of you feel that interfaith needs to be perhaps revised or reformed in any way? Just hear me out. So as to not be so stringent for other societies who sometimes struggle to have speakers come along.
Elaborate what you mean by other societies that have struggled to bring speakers in.
Well, there are basically huge checks, which means that, from Yusuf Kaplan, that mean that it sometimes takes from about 3 to 4 weeks for speakers to come in. Considering this is a speaker who has had a lot of considerable controversy made about him, how was he able to...
We will ask the question, how would you streamline the process for all speakers coming into the university?
If it's for general speakers, or I'm not particularly going to speak about this specific issue, but if it's any other speaker or this speaker or whatever, then it should be, to be fair, Yusuf Kaplan, he has that 3-week thing. It should take an immediate action.
Okay, thank you. We'll go down here. How would you streamline the process for speakers? It goes along with your room booking.
Yeah, I think it would come underneath that category. So I think instead of actually going to Yusuf Kaplan, it will probably go to Sports and Society's office, and I think it would be better if they're basically in charge of speakers as well as room booking, because there's no point having 2 separate departments for that.
Okay, Fatima, would you like to pick up on this point?
Yes, I mean, as he mentioned, like the option of having an interfaith collaboration is something that I find important, that needs to be done more in our university, and through interfaith collaboration, I feel like that would make more equal, access to, getting speakers in and bookings and whatever.
Okay, we will now take a question from the floor. We've got Jayesh, the current Vice President of Marylebone, who has been for 2 years and is now exiting the university.
All right.
You've still got a while yet.
Yeah, I'm not leaving yet. So this is to all three candidates. We're at Marylebone here, and we're the only campus with 2 faculties here from the whole university. We've got the business school and architecture and built environment. Representing the students, both students from both faculties, can be quite hard at times because you've got students with different needs. So how will you find a sort of mutual agreement between the students and obviously relay that back to the faculties?
Okay, so how would you find a mutual agreement between
the students, yeah, because they're very different type of students and with very different needs. So how would you...
All at the same campus?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you deal with this task if you were to become Vice President of Marylebone?
Well, currently I'm the head SSA of Marylebone, and we've been speaking about... a networking event for the postgraduates in the social room. So we want to get ABE, postgraduates and undergraduates from WBS together in one room so people can interact. This can also come under the reason why people can work together for different faculties. Like you have architecture students, they do partially like business insights, and they can get an insight from all the other ones. But this networking event soon.
Okay, so more networking events. We keep hearing about networking events. Is there something else someone has to offer over here?
Well, there's a question on social media for Fatima, actually asking what exactly are your academic policies?
My academic policies. Well, I would like to, especially for postgraduate students, I would like to encourage more involvement of the postgraduate students through running academic conferences, which is what I feel we lack at the moment.
Okay, and would you like to pick up on this point?
Am I doing the same question or Jayesh's question?
However you'd like to pick up on it.
I think the mutual agreement, I think that's very difficult to find a solution for that. That's just my personal opinion. Sorry, and Zach, can you repeat the question, please?
The question for Fatima?
Yeah.
The question is, what are her academic policies?
Okay, well, mine is to implement a year abroad preparation program. I travelled to Egypt for my year abroad, and I survived. And
okay, can you answer the question?
And basically, I would like to share my experiences with the next set of students. I would like to actually improve the current program that we have. I don't think it prepares students enough, in my opinion. So I'd like to bring my own experience and also invite alumni to come in, students who have actually taken a year abroad. That's what I would implement.
And we have another question.
We've got one more question from the floor.
Okay, so you've all mentioned stuff about networking events, but some students feel like they don't have the confidence or the skills to be able to deal with networking events. What are you going to do to support those students?
Don't start with me.
Fatima?
I think I would like to encourage, get more leadership and maybe management workshops, or through which icebreaker events can happen, and I feel that would encourage less students who don't feel like they're confident enough to be able to increase their confidence through this.
Okay, so you think these networking events would help students increase their confidence?
I think it's a difficult question to answer because, of course, we can always set up events, but it's obviously a student's choice if they want to turn up.
How would you encourage students to show up? Because this is something that time and time again happens. Events are put on maybe people don't know about them, maybe people don't want
that's
to
where
show
the app
up?
would come in to kind of raise awareness for it. But it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult to encourage students to turn up. Some students, they might be too busy with their studies or with their personal lives. I think everyone, has their own kind of prerogative, so it's very difficult to answer that question.
Salsa, would you like to pick up on this?
From what I'm aware, the person that asked the question is making a leadership a workshop soon, so you're all welcome to go there and learn a few stuff. Also, I think within the university, we do have a lot of workshops from the Careers Development Centre that offer help with students that aren't really more confident to speak.
So there's a lot of support from the university
Yeah,
already?
just lack of advertisements, but I'm sure that can get resolved quickly.
Okay, we have another question from the floor.
Hi.
Could you just introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Zara. I'm a second year student at Marylebone. The only time that I really had contact with my Marylebone vice president was in my first year, when we came to the opening thing about business management. And since then, I've had no contact at all from anyone within the Marylebone SU office. I spend a lot of time on the platform and within university. There tends to be a bit of a clique, and that friendship group hang out together, and they don't really interact with the rest of the students on the platform. So what I would like to know is how you, as the VP of Marylebone, would like to implement open door policy and interact with more of the students here at Marylebone.
Okay, Salsa, would you like to start with?
I'm part of that clique that you were talking about.
If you could answer the question.
So for you to say that, we are very open to every student from this clique also. We speak to everyone, that's anyone from first year to third year to second years. Jayesh's room is open to everyone at all times. Whenever he's in office, you can come in, you can talk to him.
It sounds like students. It sounds like. So I just.
I think you may have not addressed yourself. Like you didn't approach us in the way that you
Okay,
you haven't approached us at all.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you both there because I feel that it's fair that the rest of the candidates get a chance to answer. So the students are saying that it seems too cliquey. Salsabil is saying that she's part of that clique and so I think we should pass this on to the other candidates. Is this something that you've experienced before? And how would you kind of combat, if the students are saying that, surely that's something you should listen to?
I can understand to a certain extent, yes. Myself personally, I kind of travel from campus to campus. I study international business with Arabic, and so I study at Marylebone and Regent Street, so I basically interact with a lot of different people, so it's quite difficult for me to just kind of hang around in one group just because of my course. So I understand.
So you're aware of the issue?
To a certain extent, yes. But as far as I know, their door is always open when they're there. So I think maybe it might just be a personal issue, or maybe if other students feel this way, then yeah. But
when you say to a certain extent, what do you mean?
Because I can understand why people would view you from the outside as a clique.
She just said that she tried speaking to us.
Okay, Fatima, would you like to come back to this point? We've just got a few seconds left.
I'd just like to say if the Students' Union is something that you really want to be involved in, you should bring your concerns forward, especially to the people that you're addressing the concern to. And if I was to be elected as the Vice President of Marylebone, I would have an open door policy, and I would like to have the integration of the TVs on campuses where if used by the Students' Union, the more students would be able to know what's going on and would be more interested in.
Okay, thank you to all the candidates and thank you for your questions.